that is possibly the last time you are going to hear that song in my intro. Welcome to Just Jackson Guest, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. And I may just be unveiling a very special new song next week, gifted by an amazing human that I will share all about next week. So make sure you're tuning in and make sure you're early next week because it's going to be amazing and I cannot wait to share it. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, if you have had a chance to watch some of my content, I've been doing a little bit of teasers and I am doing some rebranding. Some of you know me as Jackie that does reentry consultation and training. Some of you know me as traveling and support for solo travelers. Some of you know me as the mental health counselor that I am. Some of you know that I do a lot of things. I do side things with a few various people, including Melissa Ann Houston. And all of that gets kind of busy. And so I'm going to swirl it all together, make it a lot more user friendly for people to find us and to understand what we're all about. Mostly me. Okay. Yeah. We're going to talk all about that. But the cool thing is Just Jackson Guest will stay the same. Okay. So if this is your first time here, if you're catching us on replay, if you've been here almost every episode, you know, I highlight as many people as possible all the time, right? But on Just Jackson Guest, I pick either one or two people, unless it's like a group, if it's something that they're all doing together, like co-authors or people that are attending a training together or something. And tonight is going to be really great. I got two gentlemen that I know of, but I need to know more of, and so do you. So you're going to be able to hear from William and Dr. Steve tonight. Cannot wait to get them on stage, but I got a couple other little housekeeping I need to do because I'm excited to share a few other things. If you have been watching some of the Just Jackson Guest episodes, you know that there's not one type of guest that I have on here. I want it to be diverse. You might be seeking a job. You might own your own business. You may become an author. You may be somebody that is already hosting your own shows. You may be somebody that is super nervous to be on a show like this. And you may be somebody that speaks in front of a gazillion people and audiences all over. Your voice is important. You deserve to be featured. I would love to have you. Guys, I'm not completely booked for October, but it's getting pretty close. So if you want to get on, send me a message. Please try to put in the DMs, especially if you do it through LinkedIn. First thing, put on there Just Jax. That way I know you're not a spam. You're not just trying to sell me something, okay? A couple things that I want to highlight before we get into our guests, and I'm so excited, okay? First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to a friend that I met a few weeks ago, and I did feature her on a special episode of Just Jackson Guest, and it was on a Sunday night, but you can go back to my YouTube channel or LinkedIn page and find it. And that was my friend Pat. She's local, and she focuses on leadership coaching for Latinas and their friends. And she is hosting an amazing wellness retreat coming up. Gosh, it's only a couple more weeks away. It's going to be on Sunday, October 12th, and her registration's closing on October 1st. So check her out. If you've never been to West Michigan, it is worth a trip. Whether it's a day drive for you, you want to come in, I can help you plan a super great weekend or week here. It's a great time of year to be here in West Michigan. So if you didn't know, I am coming from West Michigan. I am like really close to Lake Michigan. It's only a few minutes away from both my job and where I live. It's a beautiful place to be. So check out her information. I've posted it and I'll be posting some more stuff tomorrow. Also, if you have been following my poll about what music should I walk to, guys, I am going to be on a walkway. I am going to be a model. I've never done that in my life and I'm nervous, and I got to actually pick which song I wanted to walk to. So I put a poll on my page the other day, and I've had some feedback on that, and I kind of narrowed it down. And I wonder what you think my song choice is, because I did have to turn it in today. Today was the deadline. So I want to see what your thought was. There were a couple different choices on there. Go back to my page right now if you have a second and you want to see what it is. I would love to hear from you, and I will announce the song later in the show. I also want to highlight two different people that are connected with me on LinkedIn that I don't always shout out enough about. And one has been a guest on Just Jackson Guest, and the other one is going to be a future guest. We just locked in that date for her. But the first one I want to talk about is Chasen Forehand. Chasen, oh my gosh, he's so Chasen. I mean, seriously, he has got his food fundraiser, his second annual coming up. Go to his page, check it out. It's a special 2-hour event and the ticket is only $25. You can help feed other humans. Okay, so check that out. And the other person that I want to highlight, her name is Marcia Lee. And Marcia has a business page now and it's called Marcia B. Lee LLC. I'll put the link in the comments, or unless somebody else can get to her page faster and do that for me. Marcia is trying hard to get to that golden number on a business page of 100 followers. If you guys could help her out, she would love it. She doesn't overpost, but she used to do an audio room on Monday nights that was so amazing. It was full of diverse health needs and trying to encourage everybody to be healthy. And so I would encourage you to check out her page and try to follow her. So I could keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, but I want to bring up some guests. Are you ready for some guests? Yeah. Well, guess what? I am too. But before I do that, I want to just thank a few people that I see already. Now, if I don't call out your name, it is usually because StreamYard and LinkedIn or YouTube just isn't liking each other and they don't want me to see you. But I see Mr. Kenny Dunner. I see Gabe. I see Bill Hobbs. And yes, absolutely, Jason is. Sami and Christy. And we have Annie. Amy, thank you for being here. And oh my gosh. Liela, I don't know if I messed up your name or not, but that was beautiful. Thank you guys for being here. Noni, Felipe, and Nick, and Melissa, and William. He better be here because he's Bill. He's in the show. Super excited to have so many of you guys here. It is so important to see the support for the guests that come on here because it takes a lot. I mean, Jason, I just gave you a big shout out. Hey, thank you for being here. Lisa, thank you for tuning in from another country. We love you here too. Guys, it is important to recognize fellow people. It is important to get to know people outside of your circle. We are going to bring up our first guest and he's going to talk all about this term mosaic. He talks mostly about it in the family dynamic, but for me, I think about it as in every single person that comes into your world. You don't have to have people that look just like you, that have had your same lived experiences, that have had kind of that same kind of vibe that you've had or experiences you've had. You deserve to be around diverse people and experience new things. And I'm so excited to welcome Dr. Steve to the stage. Are you guys ready for him? Here he comes. Yay!
Yay.
How are you, Dr. Steve?
I'm doing great, Jackie. Thank you for the invite and being on your show. So I'm looking forward to the spotlight.
I am so glad to have you here. So we share a publisher in common. We have the most cool lady, Nick, and she is her publishing company is Guiding Brilliant Writers. And somebody on stage just went to international bestseller, #1 bestseller, #1 in parenting book. How cool is that? I'm so happy for you. So if you have never watched Just Jackson Guest before, I always start out with 3 questions because I always want to dive into their work and all the cool things everybody is doing. But I want you to get to know them as humans first. And I appreciate, we've got some other people that just joined. Jack and Jay, thank you so much for being here. We want to talk about your successes because you as a human, sometimes we get caught up in the world and we don't always talk about stuff we're proud of or things that really are important to us. So start off, Dr. Steve, by telling us 2 things that you are proud that you have accomplished or that you're happy that you've done.
Well, do you want the AI version or the human being? You know, when I think about,
we have limited time, so you pick your choice.
You know, what I'm proud of, #1 is my kids. Just being able to raise them in a divorce situation, that's what caused me to get into therapy. #2, I'm proud of how this book is reaching people, and so much, thanks to Nick and the publishing company to get this out for me. So I'm very proud of that as well.
It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's like having somebody that is like a friend, but a business partner and a major hype woman. I mean, your business is her business, and getting you exposed to people that may not have heard of you or may not have heard the type of book that you're writing or the title of your book or anything like that can be hard doing it on your own when you don't have connections all over, and this global platform helps us. So thank you to LinkedIn. We all connected with so many different people. Nick came into my life a few years ago and it's like, okay, yeah, we're friends, we're nice. And then boom, you want to be in her book? Yeah. And I've been in 2 of her books and I'm so thankful that you've had that journey as well for her. So I want to get into your second question because the first 2 the first question is kind of fun and it's like, yeah, I'm proud of the family, I'm proud of my work. But no matter how many letters you have after your name, that little doctor word before your name, no matter what life experiences you have had or not quite had yet, we should all be growing every day. When we stop growing, that brain of ours just gets a little bit mushy. Nothing I need to tell you about, but it doesn't like just stagnation. So, what, if you're willing to share with the group, what are you working on yourself? What area are you growing in, Dr. Steve?
Well, it's learning for me, personal growth is about slowing it down to allow others, to carry the vision that I'm just being able to start on the mosaic. There's so many multifacets there, but it's learning that if I can slow down, allow others to help carry this vision for me, so that there's that uh, I know that my natural instinct is to take on too much. But if I can have people like you or Nick and other people who are behind this, it allows me to slow down a little bit and trust the vision that's going to carry yourself. I mean, that's what a mosaic is about shining the light.
I love that. So I did buy your book and I told you, I said, oh, it was such a busy weekend for me, but I got through almost the whole first chapter, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but certain books you need to slow down, kind of like what Dr. Steve's working on. You do need to slow it down a little bit. And I did love, even in the first chapter, you talked about the light coming in to make the mosaic happen. So I love that you referenced it here too. So I hope you can keep slowing down. I hope you can lean on other people. I think it's amazing. And we were talking before the show of some of the other books he plans on coming out with. So he is going to need to slow down and speed up at the exact same time to get those all published pretty soon. So I can't wait to see your journey. So before we jump too much more into your book and all the cool things that you do as a human, if you could travel anywhere right now, no matter about the book launch and having to be on site for everything, no matter about your other clients or anything, where would you go right now?
Ireland. That is Ireland. I've already been to England, but I want to go to Ireland because that is where my maternal grandparents, they are the second generation that came in as an immigrant from Ireland into, uh, you know, Texas, New Mexico. That's where they settled. And I just want to know more part of my history as an Irish.
Mm, that's huge. Have you been thinking about that for a long time, or is this fairly new for you?
Oh, I
Wanting
got
to
a
go to
bucket
Ireland?
list of places to go. Ireland, Germany is another place because there's so much history. Here in America, we tend to just wipe out our history. But in Germany and these other countries, there's so much rich culture that we can learn from. And I love culture. I love being able to immerse myself in food, people themselves. Just getting to know people is just, fabulous for me.
It better be fabulous because you spend your days working with humans all the time and now writing books on them. So, thank you for sharing all the answers to those three questions. Now, where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about this really cool thing that's called Piece by Piece, my blended experience of a mosaic family? Or do you want to go somewhere totally different?
That's 3 years in the making.
3 years.
And, that's more than what an elephant takes to create its own baby of 18 months. So it's like birthing a baby and you're putting your vulnerability out there because as therapists, we're told often that we shouldn't be sharing about ourselves.
Mm.
But I just, the aspiration, if I knew this 20 years ago, I wouldn't be here. So all the 20 years of my wisdom is behind this book and just wanted people to know that you may feel you're broken, but like a mosaic, we come collectively, the grout becomes the boundaries. As long as we recognize the boundaries between us, we're able to formulate a healthy community. Instead of building walls, we build bridges. And that's the whole design is what ways can we build bridges to one another so that therapy is not taboo.
Can you imagine if it was just as normal to have like a therapy class in middle school or high school as it is to have a gym class or a math class, and breaking down that cycle, that stigma. And one of my big passions is increasing mental wellness for everybody, no matter if you're have not been to therapy ever, you're in there already, you did it when you were a kid and you didn't think it was important. Yeah, our mental wellness is the thing that makes the world go round. And I love that you do the work you do, but I also love that you want to connect humans. And it can be tough, like you said, as a therapist, wanting to share your own experience. And that sometimes it's that boundary issue, sometimes it's that vulnerability area, but we are all humans. We have the same basic needs. We have some of the same basic desires. We have usually the same internal systems that are functioning us as a living, breathing body. And being able to see how they come together. And the word you switched, mosaic, a lot of people considered it a blended family, or, a step family, or a grouped family. Tell us kind of why the word mosaic came to you. Like had you been thinking of a different word for a while, or was it one of those light bulb moments? Tell us about that.
When you look at step family, I think of it as you got that evil stepmother in Hollywood that comes out, and it just doesn't help to portray step parents in an evil way. Can there be? Sure, but not all families are this way. I've hear a lot of people saying, "Hey, my stepmother, stepdad, they're the ones that raised me, and I contribute to a lot of my success to them." European countries tend to use bonus family. I think if you're a kid at Christmas time, it is a bonus. Instead of getting 6 presents, you're getting 20,000 different presents from everybody, because, it's a bonus type situation. But when you get into blended, it's like throwing things in a blender. It all mixes and it doesn't have the right, it has a flavor depending on what sticks out the most. And there's no boundaries. So to me, mosaic, you think about two shards that are broken from a biological families. They find each other and they bring children into the perspective, and it creates this mosaic. And each person has a different aspect, unique. I don't like saying normal. The only normal is on a dryer setting. But each person is a unique situation that combines with grout can create a beautiful picture. So we're not enmeshed, because sometimes families can become enmeshed. And that's how I come up with mosaic.
I love that. Were you still doing your dissertation when you came up with that, or was it even before that?
Oh, I had a vision when I found out I wanted to get a doctoral program through Liberty. It had community care counseling with emphasis of family and marriage. And so when I started these classes, I already planned out in my mind different segments that I want to build on, so that when my dissertation came, it was easy to progress. I hired a dissertation coach in this process to help me to really challenge my thinking process. And just the participants, they fell in my lap. And so I had those scheduled. They were videotaped, and just the resounding number one reason why 67% divorces it happen in blended families is due to unhealed wounds.
That's huge. That is so huge. I
Mhm.
think what's really powerful is that so many people want to put names or labels on things, because when we get labeled, we can divide, and we can sometimes maybe feel better about ourselves, thinking that maybe other people are not as good, or they're in that category, I'm over here. And I think when we come up with new terms, if they're positive, if they're focused on kind of shattering that stigma, reducing those barriers,
Right.
it just empowers so many people. So I just love that you did that. I think it's amazing. Now, if somebody's never seen a mosaic, to me, it's kind of almost like a stained glass window, just
Mhm.
tiny and not quite as shiny sometimes. And sometimes it's shinier, and sometimes it's, a flat surface. Sometimes it can be around a cup. It can be around everything. When you think of mosaic, when you're thinking like the literal figurative thing that most people have heard the word mosaic as first, what's the first thing that pops to your mind?
The term mosaic, what I wrote in my book, Westminster Abbey. I was fortunate to be in England, stayed at the YMCA there in Wimbledon for a month. We traveled around, and I really enjoy the architecture that the older generations built. I was there prior to Westminster Abbey fire, and so thankful that the fire didn't destroy the mosaic. And that's what I think of is a mosaic. But when I started looking, it also can be different pieces of pottery coming together, forming a picture. I've seen where words are built into a picture that I think I saw Michael Jackson's shadow or a picture of him all built out of words. To me, that's also a mosaic.
I love that. I think that's amazing. So you had a question from Branson, and he said, "What inspired you to join the show today?"
My arm is twisted. No, I joined the
Maybe
show
by your
because
publisher. I didn't know twisting.
I wanted to join because I want to get a message out that oftentimes we go through life and we feel like we don't have a voice. We feel alone. We feel isolated. Our anxiety is high. Research is showing that the social media and things like that, you look at people just putting down life. And I'm like, we're so much more than life when we come together and we build these prejudices. So I wanted to inform people that Mosaic family, we're all mosaics. It's whether or not we're going to allow our light shine through who we are. And when we own our story, who can accuse us of what we are? Because we become so much more than our story.
That is so huge. And I think sometimes when people get into a relationship or they get married young and we just kind of have all these ideals from what we've seen in movies, we've read in books, our families, did it or something like that. We expect these certain things and that we're never going to grow. We're never going to change. We're never going to have differences of opinions. We're never going to not want to be with that human anymore. And then life happens. And whether or not people stay in that relationship and work through some of those changes, or they separate, or they turn towards some kind of like a more of a destruction mode for the relationship, really depends on how people do adapt to change and growth and such. And so when we think about ending one relationship, opening up another one that is going to have a whole lot of new opportunities and growth and challenges itself, it can be something that people don't want to think of all those pieces right away, or
Right.
they might be really fearful, and it might take a lot of convincing or discussion and communication to get them to the point where, yes, we can attempt this, especially if they've had multiple different marriages or partnerships and they're just afraid that it's going to keep happening. So how can you encourage people to keep trying, keep seeking a different relationship, whether it's going to involve, the whole mosaic blend of other children and maybe grandchildren or nieces and nephews and all the things that come with that?
Jackie, I can add a personal taste to that because when the spouse I was married left, my health was wonky. That's when I found out I had a 34% chance of living by 2021 due to cancer. Now, thank God I don't have it anymore. 7 years cancer free. It's not coming back. But when you think about, do you give this a chance or not? And one of the chapters I put in there is talking about taking a sabbatical. Instead of jumping into another relationship, give yourself some time, reflective mode to think about processing. We're such a reactive culture emotionally that oftentimes we don't think about slowing it down and processing what caused me to be here. And so in the book, I do talk about my anxious attachment style, how I arrived there, what it looked like throughout the book. But now that I have a secure attachment, I take my time. Now that I'm just started dating someone, and so I'm proud of that to kind of see where things go. But it's about taking it slow, uh, not like a tortoise, but slow enough to where you're really asking deep level questions. For example, if I was to come home, or you were to come home one day and you're upset, what is something that you look forward to that maybe I can help you to feel better about your day? It's asking those deep level questions, uh, trying to find some commonality. So those who are trying again, process where it went wrong.
Mm.
And maybe it didn't go wrong. It's just processing where to go next. I've been told I'm too much of a resilient person. I keep coming back. I'm on my eighth life. I kid, people about, because I almost died 2 years ago from sepsis, and they don't know. It was an enigma to the doctors, but it's having a positive attitude. When I was in the hospital, I looked at two things, Jackie. I looked at, you know, I can have a glass that's half empty or half full. But for me, I'm thankful to have a glass so that whatever I pour into it, it can hold the thankfulness that I have right there.
That's deep. And I appreciate you sharing that. We have so many times, Dr. Steve, that we will have people that just have had so much rough stuff that they can't even see the glass anymore, let alone thinking about putting anything positive in it, or that it'll get replenished, or
Mm.
maybe the next time you drink out of it, it'll be sweeter than the last. And being able to be that word resilient you talked about is absolutely key in life, but it's a scary word too, because it almost
Yes.
it makes it sound like, okay, there's something bad that happened to me in order to be resilient. Well, guess what? You can be resilient without having intense trauma. You can be resilient without having a broken relationship. You find what works for you, your support networks and your happiness level. And then if something does happen, then you have that already built in. Where if people grow up and, they don't know things could be better, why should they think it's going to happen? I love
Mm.
that. I do want to talk a little bit about, you being a therapist and really spending time. Check out his website too. You can really check into that. I just love this picture, by the way. I love it. It just like speaks to my heart in so many ways. But there is still, we talked a little bit when you first came on about that stigma of therapy and what it means, and how if you could kind of paint a picture, maybe make it in a mosaic that says it's okay to do therapy, what would you include in that?
Therapists are like shoes. You got to try them on to find the right fit. And one of the things that I try to do in therapy is get to the root. Clients will come in, and my couples will say, we have trouble communicating. And one of the things I dive into that's a symptom, the root fear is that we're afraid to really be vulnerable with each other because of fear of how we see our world through attachment. And so when I think about that, I try to help people to really be who they are. The best compliments that I've ever had are that I don't judge people for where they are, because I look at it that we've all had problems. Doesn't matter what we've been in. It doesn't matter who has had it worse. If you're showing improvement and want to improve and be successful in a way that contributes to society, I'll hold your hand. I'll walk with you. I've been there. So I know what it's like to, as a faith-based person would say, Job, who lost it all, but also regained it back. And that's what I feel like. This is a second chance of life for me. And to help people through therapy and to understand that they're not alone in a world that we feel isolated, that to me is where we can build friendships.
I love that. I love that so much. I also love that you didn't say build client relationships, because, I'm old school therapy too, and it was always like, they're over here, you're over there. No, guys, we're all in this together. The
Right.
fact of trying on shoes with therapy, guys, this is so key, because if you were sent to a counselor as a kid, you were forced to go to marriage counselor,
Oh,
you felt like you were paired with somebody that just did not vibe with you. Look at Dr. Steve and I. We're both up here. We both have kind of similar work experiences in some areas, but totally different in other areas. You may gravitate towards Dr. Steven like, oh my gosh, I could totally talk with him. He's going to understand me. I'm going to really learn and I'm going to grow with him. Jackie, she's, not my thing. Where other people might walk in and like, oh my gosh, Jackie, you're so different than my last therapist. And I thought I was never going to find one that I could connect with. And I'm like, that's okay, because I'm going to have different people I would want to talk to, whether they're in my friends group, my work group, or something that is helping with me with my health or wellness in any capacity. So I appreciate you so much coming on the show. It is so crazy how fast time goes. We want to get to our next guest in a minute. But before we do, again, I want to check out his book. Even if you're not in a Mosaic family, even if you're not in a relationship, there are some really cool opportunities to learn. Maybe it will help you with a future relationship, or maybe it'll help you understand maybe a sibling's relationship, or your own parents' relationship, or maybe your child's relationship, or maybe it'll just be because you really like Dr. Steven, you want to support him because his book is awesome. You can grab it. His publisher is amazing. You definitely want to check her out. And if you've ever wanted to write your story, if you felt like Dr. Steve, where, his life work was about how can we change this narrative? How can we help families to move forward and not feel stuck in this ick that so many times it's just, you've seen it on movies, or they kind of, make jokes about it in media or something about families and divorce and things. You don't have to be that statistic. You can learn and you can educate yourself. So if you have a story you want to write, if you have something you're passionate about, get it out there. Talk with publishers like Nick and see if they're the right fit for you. Dr. Steve, thank you for being here. Make sure you check out those comments. We had a lot of great stuff in here. Guys, we've had more people actually writing comments from YouTube than we usually do. So make sure you check out my YouTube channel. It's at Jackie Hallberg, LMSW, just like it's on the screen, except there's no comma after that. You can find Dr. Steve on LinkedIn. Do you have a Facebook or a YouTube channel yet, Dr. Steve?
I do, but it's under Coached Soul. It's a mental health podcast between me and another female who we try to do a male and a female perspective. So it's called Coached Soul. And that's where I do a lot of my podcast every week on Friday.
Awesome. I love that. When you have time, will you go back and drop the link to your YouTube channel so we can follow your podcast and check that out?
Sure.
I would love that. Go back, check out some of the comments. And if you have any other feedback, or if you want to ask some questions to Bill, who's coming up on stage next, feel free to do that. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to finish your book. I'm super excited about it. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
I love learning along with people that are watching the show. So some of you guys know Dr. Steve. You've already connected with him. Maybe you've already purchased his book, or maybe you've seen his publisher, Nick, sharing all the information about his book and about the book launch that was coming up, the past few weeks before it actually dropped. Get to know more people, because if you don't get to know them, you only maybe see them as the author or the therapist or the business person or something. It's super important to get them to know him as a human. So thankful he was willing to come to stage. Now I've got a pretty cool person coming on stage. I mean, Dr. Steve was pretty cool too. But the fact that this guy has been doing his own live show, I've been watching him. I try to catch him whenever I can. He's really kind of sneaky sometimes, because sometimes he'll just randomly pop up and it's like, whoa, I didn't even know there was going to be a live with this man. And boom, he's got so many awesome things to say. It's amazing. And sometimes he'll have guests. Sometimes he'll just randomly do it. Sometimes his shows are 5 minutes. Sometimes they're 15 minutes. Sometimes they go a lot longer. But guess what? He's never been a guest before. Just Jackson guests. Bring it on. The amazing Bill. Boom. First time.
Wow. That was fantastic. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate
Dr.
you.
Steve was amazing.
Wasn't he?
Why did I go after that?
Don't you dare say that. There is no competition, Bill. We
Like,
are all in this together, my
I
dear.
know, and I love the mosaic because most mosaics are made out of cracked pieces,
Exactly.
broken pieces that other people would discard, but they're all put together to make this beautiful, beautiful piece.
Isn't it?
And I wish that we could use that on a daily here in America.
Oh my
I'll,
gosh.
I'll just say that without going any further. To remember that the mosaic is what makes us as a country so beautiful. It's the diversity. And my cousin Steven Jackson, thank you.
Yay! Oh,
And all my friends from YouTube, I appreciate that.
I
Um,
love when families are in the house.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because my cousin Steven Jackson, and you can shut me up whenever you need me to shut up.
We got to get into your
Um,
questions in a minute, but you keep going.
he actually is one I just met. So I just started doing podcasting
I
a
was
few
on.
months
I
ago.
listened to one of your shows talking about that the other day.
Yeah, and so
You
I
never told us if you won.
so one of the things I have, so I do have a schedule, right? And you're absolutely right about I just pop up from nowhere. So I got this from you and Felipe and somebody else. It was in May or June. You guys are talking about hiatuses.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what? It's difficult for me to get people to commit because everyone's going on summer vacations. So I decided after 3 months in, I would just say, oh, we're going to go on hiatus and we'll be back in September, just like the pros, like Just Jacks that they do. So what I wanted to do, because I was new, was to make sure that I kept my face out there. So even though my shows, which are every Sunday at 4 for UBU Live, and Cousin Talk is every Saturday at 4, and then I have a special edition like any day of the week. And then I used to have a thought of the day, and it's turned into point of view because it's difficult to come up with a thought every single day. My thought
Sometimes
of the day,
you don't want to do no more thinking.
right? I was like, I got out of bed today. That's my thought, and
I love
no
it.
one wants to know that, So I do it when I'm called to do it. Nothing's done with the script. Everything that I do is I'm feeling this in the moment. That's why sometimes I'm in a hoodie and you're like, why is this guy in a hoodie? And it's in summer in Florida because I like my home to be at 55 degrees. I don't care where I'm at. And I love to be in a big, cozy, whatever. So yes, I'm in Southern Florida, it's hot as hell, and I'm in a parka because my house is 55 degrees.
Oh my God. You are so fun. Oh my gosh. Look at us digressing because I mean, we've been waiting to do this for how long now?
Right?
We almost match exactly without even realizing. I love it. We're going to wrap up to our questions so we can just talk after that because we've
Yep.
got some questions coming and everything. And everybody's so excited to get to see you in the hot seat instead of actually having to do all the controls and be in charge. Guys, you heard him already. He does these shows. He does a lot of stuff. You want to follow him. You want to watch it. We're going to talk about his newsletter in a minute. But first, I want you, Bill, please share what are 2 things you are proud of yourself for because you deserve to get those highlighted.
That's very interesting. Because when I actually thought about it, because you have to think about it, I said, I'm not going to say my children because everyone says my children. So what I came up with, and I was intentional about excluding family and stuff like that because that's the norm, but you guys are going to see the weird part here, is the thing I'm most proud of is my evolution, the growth that I see within myself on a regular. And I've had to pivot more times than I can count. And every time I've discovered a new layer of strength that I didn't know was there. And, we were talking about, it's funny, resilience. And at one point I saw resilience as knowing, meant pushing harder and faster and driving for success. And now I see it as patience and as trusting the journey and understanding that there's a life lesson within the moment. All of that is the evolution of me. And that's what I'm most proud of. The second part, which I'm going to keep short because that was so damn long, the evolution of my children. And remember, in the beginning, I said I was going to leave my kids out of it. But as I was thinking about my evolution, it's weird because my daughters are 33. They're twins, by the way, so that's why I have to say my daughters. But now I'm answering to them, and they're guiding me, and I'm so proud of who they are, and how they push through. So those are my two things.
I love that. Isn't it weird having adult children? It's like, how did they turn out like this?
Well, yes, it's very. You know why it's hard for me is because we're not changing, we are evolving, right? So we're becoming hopefully a better version of ourselves, but they're changing dramatically and they're creating boundaries. And so they're not recognizing that when we unintentionally cross a boundary, it's not because we're disrespecting it. It's that boundary is new for us. Like, so we're trying to navigate. You're still my baby, but you're 33 years old and you have a 2-year-old. So it's trying to adjust to all of that.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it. I have you ever thought about becoming a therapist yourself there, Bill? Because
I need therapy.
we all need therapy.
My goodness.
That's a whole nother show,
That's
isn't
a
it?
whole nother show. And I want to say that your network, LinkedIn, whoever you're with, it's people like Kenneth Dunner, Michael LeBlanc, Felipe. There's this group of guys, and Spencer Collins and Jeremy and Peter. We all get together more a few weeks ago than we are right now, because we kind of got back into the fall. But the support that I get there is amazing, and
I love that. I love that so much.
they're my therapist.
I love that because, again, I'm always going to advocate for therapy for every human as long as it's the right therapist. And sometimes the right therapist may be your friend, it may be a life coach, it might be a business coach. But when you need therapy, guys, really talk about a professional because there are things you can tell a friend or you can tell somebody that's just trying to grow your business. It's a different thing if you have some stuff that is really setting unhealthy in your brain, because these beautiful brains of ours, they got a lot of stuff going on. And those brains are connected to these bodies of ours. And if we don't take care of our mental wellness, sometimes then our physical wellness kicks into gear. And all of a sudden we have diabetes and we never had it before. Or we have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and we don't even eat bad stuff. Your brain is going to work numbers on you if you don't take care of yourself. So if you have a great support system and you kind of joke about, oh yeah, I need therapy, it's one thing. But if you need therapy, guys, it's just like going if you need a blood transfusion, going if you need to go get your eyebrows plucked, going if you need another tattoo. We make time for that stuff, right? I mean, some of us do. So,
Right.
But take time for you, right, Bill? And
Absolutely, and I want to make sure that everyone understands two things can be true at the same time. I 100% need therapy. I do. I appreciate that, and I'm aware of it. And at the same time, I 100% appreciate the network that I'm drawing from, that I'm able to lean on. And they are not professional therapists, and I'm not putting them in the same bucket. So I just want to make sure that that's cleared up.
And I appreciate you clarifying that, but I totally got that from you because we have a lot of people that don't have friend networks. And we were kind of talking about our age thing with having adult children. There's a lot of people that take stock in growing their babies and only having friends with the parents of other kids their age, or only having friends with their spouse's friends. And then all of a sudden the babies fly away and they do their own thing. And they're like, yeah, you're not coming over tonight, Mom. Nope, you need to call first. Or those friends of
That's
the friends.
the worst.
they're not there. Or you have a divorce or a death with your spouse, and now none of their friends are coming around anymore. What do we do? So building that network, even if it's a virtual network through some of these amazing social media platforms, you get lifted up and you realize you're not alone. Because guys, we are all so much more alike than different. And I appreciate you, Bill. I appreciate you.
Thank
We've
you.
kind of already talked a little bit about what you're growing in and stuff, but is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Because I don't care how, I mean, guys, when you see the followers on his newsletter, you're gonna be like, this guy's got it all going on. But
No,
we're still
no, no,
growing
no,
every
no,
single minute.
no. I do not have it going on. What I'm working on right now is calm, and it's interesting how I think you kind of stepped into it a minute ago, but it's learning, leaning into calm for me. I for a long time I was wired to chase the dollar, chase the title, just chase. And now I'm more relaxed in knowing I'm supposed to be right where I'm at. Don't let the noise around you get inside your head and start rewiring what you know to be true for you. What we believe we can achieve, right? Faith and fear can't live in the same spot. So what I'm working on, calm. And then where I want to go, because I know you want me to wrap it up, is Istanbul. and that's a true thing. I've been to a lot of places. I've never been to Istanbul. And everyone I've spoken to that knows me said I would love Istanbul. It's beautiful. That it's it looks like everything is a piece of art. Even like the elevator button, it was placed there like specifically. So yeah, Istanbul.
That's so cool. Like, first of all, you're the first person that has picked that as the place to go. And I love your why you want that. He is the first guest. Remember, he is the first time being a guest on Just Jax or any guest.
I'm an entire vibe, guys. Come on
He's
now.
our host, guys. He took my last question and asked it himself to himself. How cool is that? I love you, Bill. I love it so much, honestly. He's like, Jay wants me to speed up. Let's do this. You and I kind of have some brain wires the same way. Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at the time too. We're like at 47, 48. You want to be respectful of everyone's time. I'm 100 years old, y'all, so I go to bed at 9 o'clock. So right now I'm like, I'm just joking. I'm loving this moment.
I love this moment too. And it's taken us way too long to have time like this together, because it's one thing when we're in the comments rating on each other's shows. It's another time. I mean, we're kind of like hanging out at like a restaurant or on our couch or something while all these people are watching.
Right. But that's the whole point. And it's funny because I did I've blundered a few interviews before. And they were pre-taped and they just never hit daylight. So I can deduce that I wasn't really the best pre-taped guest. And so what I decided to do when I accepted yours was to I got to show up as me, and I can't worry about the questions or whether or not I'm giving you the right answer. It's just be me.
Yes.
I'm a whole vibe.
You are a whole vibe. And that it's like the coolest thing, because so many people feel like we've got to present this way. Our social media picture has to be good. We can't make any typos in the words we do. Oh my gosh, nobody will hire me if I say these kind of things, or if I'm silly, or if I post a non-professional picture. Guys, I do it all the time because my life is everything. When you hire me, when you go to a training I do, when you are a friend of mine, when you are a possible co-author with me, a guest on the show, you get the same Jackie no matter what. You are going to get somebody that wants to see you succeed, somebody that has a whole lot of stuff going on in her head, and sometimes it just kind of blabs out, and I talk so fast, but we're doing it for good stuff. There is good reasons for this. And I think it's super important that we recognize that we don't need to be the same, kind of like Dr. Steve's mosaic. We want to be different. I mean, can you imagine if you and I looked exactly like, and we're kind of talking the same? I mean, that would
be a mess.
It would. Like, which one is which? Who's who?
It would be a mess.
Be a mess.
Yeah, one of me is too much, right? Or no, just enough, right? It's if the world was a stew, all the spices blend off of each other. So I'm perfect just the way I am. Another one of me would be way too much.
I love that so much. I know you were joking, but one of him is enough because I'm perfect. Guys, can you imagine if we told ourselves,
Perfectly imperfect. Hold on. Perfectly imperfect.
no, 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 you are perfect as you, okay?
I am
And
perfect as me,
you are
but I'm
perfect.
not perfect.
And so many of us want to say we have to be like, just, Bill's got this, Jackie's got this, Chasen's got this, Damien's got this. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to get there, or I don't think I'm good enough, or I'm not going to quite do it yet. No, you are perfect who you are because you're growing and you're learning and you are giving vibes to other people. I mean, if you are not intentionally trying to hurt another human, threatening them, causing violence towards them, you are important to every other human you meet. I mean, think about it.
Absolutely.
I think about like going through. I mean, I don't know if guys do this as much with the guys, but like if I go and I'm going to a store, walking into a restaurant, and there's somebody in front of me, whether it's a man or a woman, they can tell I'm behind them. And if they're willing to hold the door for me, even if it's just a little behind the thing so it doesn't slam in my face, I'm just like, thank you so much. If they slam the door in my face, I'm just like, oh my gosh, are they the meanest human in the world? Did they do it just to me? Would they have done that to somebody else? And I start thinking about it and I'm like, well, wait a minute. We don't know what's going on in their day, but they had an impact in me. And what if I can't get over it right away? And that makes me want to go be grouchy to somebody else. But when somebody like holds a door and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was so nice of you, I'm probably going to smile a little bit harder at somebody else, be nicer. We have that vibe on other people, and sometimes we don't even know it. And that vibe can be so powerful. It can literally change people's day. And I feel that from you, Bill. I feel that vibe from you. I feel so much rawness and so much realness that you're not out here pretending and trying to act like, I'm never going to make a mistake or anything. Because guess what? Life is all about making mistakes, isn't it? Because then we're learning.
Absolutely. And what I will say is I've listened to everything you said. I have unintentionally been that guy that walked ahead of you and let the door slam and then go, oh my God, I didn't like my head saw you. It didn't click until after the door slammed. And I will run back. But you're right. But what I'm going to say to you is that I would put more weight on the feeling of thank you. You held the door for me. I super appreciate that. Than to today. This is evolution, right? Than to put the weight on the person that let the door slam.
Mhm.
Because now what's happening is I'm giving them my energy in a
Mhm.
negative way. And my thoughts are getting tied into why did that happen? And Michael LeBlanc says, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So we'll leave it there.
I love that so much. Oh, think about that reflection though, Bill. I mean, whew, can you imagine if we would have thought this way when we were in our teens or early 20s, even? I mean,
Well, it we would have spent a lot less time worrying about what was wrong with us.
mhm.
And now that we look at everyone, well, I was going to say something that was going to be the wrong direction. Um, but what I will say is we have all been where we were supposed to go, and hopefully we're all being taught the lessons we're supposed to learn. Success is individual, so I cannot compare my life lessons to your life lessons. I can't compare, my billions of dollars in my bank account, which I am claiming right now, the billions
Manifest.
in my bank account, to someone who's working really hard, but has a ton of love and respect within the community, is helping build someone else up. Success is independent. Do not run someone else's race. Run your own. Do not look at someone else's timeline and think, why are I not there? This is your gift. This is your journey. This is your moment. Utilize it. I'm done.
Now, do you guys see why I wanted him as a guest? Like, for real. Talk about some knowledge dropping. Guys, if you are not following him, I don't know why you are not. And then he's got this newsletter. I don't know if you can see it because my eyes are getting really tired because it's super late for me. I don't know what time zone you guys are in, but it's almost 10 o'clock for me. And I've been
Me
rocking
too.
all day today. I know, we're the same.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed.
You do know we got people from other countries watching. Isn't that amazing? They're watching you. They're here to highlight you and Dr. Steve. It's amazing. If I can read that right, he is like less than 100 or two away from, oh my gosh, 16,000 subscribers to his newsletter. When does
Yeah,
that happen? How many other people actually have that? Not many,
I
guys.
don't know.
Seriously.
I don't know.
Check out
It-
POV from Bill.
The thing I will say about that is it was unexpected, and I appreciate it that people, it's resonated with people, and I stepped in it. But you know what? I'm going to own anything I step in. So recently, I wrote something that got 50,000 views, but a lot of negativity. But there are things that are going on today,
Yes.
and I'm gonna leave. I promise. But Aaron Gibson, Friday night,
Yes.
he said it directly. He didn't sugarcoat around it. And I'm going to say it too. We need to be like the mosaic and love each other for who we are, and stop telling different narratives to make us feel better about the hatred that we're giving towards someone else. We have to love each other
Oh my gosh, yes.
for who we are, not who we expect Jackie to be. Love her for who she is,
Yes.
as she is, not who you want her to be.
Yes, without a doubt. Bill, I am going to thank you so much for being willing to go down that road because it is not easy, especially when we're joking and laughing. There are people literally being treated like animals in our country and around the globe that are being treated like they are so much less than, that are not being able to be respected or feel safe even walking out of their home. Maybe they don't even have a home right now. Maybe they're not able to get their medication or they don't have access to therapy. We're talking about go get a therapist. Some people don't have that access. And we've kind of joked, and you and I kind of have the same vibe. And I know we have some of the same concerns about letting other humans be safe and connecting with them. Guys, it takes absolutely nothing to be kind to another human, to say, just because you look different or you grew up different, or maybe you speak a different language than me, you are not less than, and you're not even more than me. We are all humans for a reason. And whether you have a faith, whether you're anti-faith, whether you are educated, whether you are like, I'm not going to kind of learn about different races or anything like that. If you have that roadblock up, if you automatically start saying they and them, you are missing out and you are part of the problem. You are part of all this divisionness. You are part of the hurt. You are part of the violence. And if you don't know how to get back in charge of understanding that humans are humans and we are all one decision away from either being incarcerated, being killed, being ostracized, being something else, we never know that. We never know. So don't you want to just build your system and have that more support? Kind of like what we talked with Dr. Steve. The more you have that support and you build that resilience, if something bad does happen, your brain is not going to be as unable to adjust. Now, it's still going to be really bad and really traumatic, but it's going to help you just a little bit more to move forward. And it's not that other people can't move forward. It's just that it could be a little bit trickier. You and I need to talk offline a whole bunch, I think. We need to do another visit here. I want people to check out your website. I want people to know about what you can do for people. We didn't even touch your business aspect. I mean, we talked about the world, I think, around in 17 times, but I don't think we really talked about the things you can offer people. So do you got an elevator speech you can share with us, about 30 seconds, about what Bill does?
Right now, to support me, just join the movement. Follow me on YouTube, on Substack, on LinkedIn. I'm trying to build a platform that's about community, not ego. And I'm open to collaboration. If you want to be a guest, just put you be you in the subject line. I'm stealing stuff from you, Jackie. And I also, just let you know, I spoke with Nick this morning. Her and I had a conversation. She was wonderful. So don't know where that's going to go, but yay.
I'm hearing book, Bill. I'm hearing book.
But we can do a second and we can dive deeper into all the other stuff that you want to know.
Let's do that. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Guys, follow him on YouTube, follow his newsletter, follow him in his shows. I mean, he talked about a couple of them. Feel free to put any links you want to any of your shows, your YouTube channel, Bill. Go back and check out some of these comments. It's amazing. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'll see you. Oh my gosh. Wasn't that wild? If you don't realize it, you never know your ripple. He just had not said yes to being a guest for some reason. And guys, he did his appearance here first as a guest. I could have just went into the other room and fallen asleep because he was amazing and he could have taken it all. But his energy gives me hope. It gives me an opportunity to know that there are people willing to share their people with other people, if that makes sense. Guys, this is by far the most followers that we have had or viewers of one of my Just Jackson Guest show. I hope you guys come back. Jeff asks, Jackie, do you enjoy doing live shows like this often? Jeff, I can talk nonstop if you would let me. And I am pretty old, so I have a lot of experience and a lot of things that I'm super passionate about. I do Just Jackson Guest every single Monday night, my time, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. You can check the other shows on YouTube. You can check my LinkedIn. Please connect with me. If we haven't connected and you have a LinkedIn account, please don't just follow me or don't just be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll talk to her someday. Please connect. I value connections. I don't value pitch messages. It gets frustrating. It kind of weeds, it kind of covers up all the great people that really want to connect and get to learn from you and share what they are without trying to sell you something. So that's my little soapbox there. Guys, again, there's some great stuff going on. The Work-Life Balance Summit is less than 2 weeks away. I will be featured on Damien and Dr. Tanya's Meet the Presenters show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking a little bit about the workshop I'm going to do and getting to know me a little bit in different capacities. I do like to do these shows. I love to highlight other people. I love to talk about mental wellness. I am not scared to talk about tough topics. All my I'm out there, I'm out there. The work I do is tough work. I work with people that are incarcerated, people that have been victimized by crimes, people that are going through conflict. It is tough work, and being able to reduce those barriers, bringing people together a little bit more, that's how I kind of fill myself back up, because we need to support ourselves what works for us, because what works for Dr. Steve might not work for Bill, and what works for Bill just not might be my jam. You've got to do what works for you. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to follow and connect with people that have been on the show tonight. There's a lot of great messages. If you've missed some of the comments, like from people that are either on Facebook or people that have been on the YouTube channel, you can go back, check some stuff out. Feel free to go back and check out some other past guests. Guys, people are amazing. Humans are incredible. They can be tough sometimes, but they're also amazing. And the more we get to know other people, the easier our world is. I want you to let me know if you do want to be a guest on Just Jackson Guest sometimes. I want to have you invite me to some of your shows. I want to see where is your passion and what are you doing to make the world a better place. And I want to thank you guys again for being here. Life is tough right now. No matter where you're living, there's tough stuff going on. It is better when we're together. Thank you guys so much. Again, I appreciate you greatly. I hope that we can work together in other capacities, whatever works the best for all of you. I want to thank you guys for coming here. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, you want to be a guest, or if you have other topics that you want us to highlight too. Thanks, guys.